Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Collector Cast. This is episode 2. Can you believe it? We're already 2 episodes in. How are we doing, guys? Shaun, you all right?
All good.
Nick, hello.
Sound, mate. All good, my end.
We've got a lot to get through in this episode. There's been some amazing announcements from Mattel regarding new figures. So let's just get straight into it. This is figure news. Okay, here we are. It's figure news, episode 2 of the Collector Cast, and wow, we've got loads of stuff. Mattel dropped a massive reveal just in time for our episode, which was very kind of them. So, yeah, let's just dive straight into it. There's loads and loads of stuff to get through. So, they announced, they showed pictures of some of Elite 94. The set as it stands is there's an Edge, Bret Hart, and that's the chase as well. We've got Mace from the Retribution, which is no longer relevant, but still a cool figure. Nash Carter Wesley from NXT, Stephanie McMahon, and Bulldog as well, which is the collector's edition, which I believe is going to be widely distributed, which is great news for everyone. Yeah, what are we thinking? As a set as a whole, overall, do we think it's solid or?
I think it's decent. I think there's a nice amount of legends in there to keep people like me and Shaun pretty happy. And then there's a nice mix of current people in there. I think the guys from NXT is cool for that. And obviously you've got, like you say, Mace is in there, but not really relevant. But it's cool to have the rest of the Retribution guys. I think Mattel said there's going to be one more Retribution guy they're not doing. It's not coming out, right? So they're not finishing the whole set.
Okay. I was just about to say, well, even though they're not relevant anymore, at least they cracking on and they're going to finish the whole set, but you're telling me they're not. So,
no.
Oh, well, that sucks. I mean, it does look a cool figure for what it's worth. Obviously there's an Edge in there. We don't know what that's going to be, what it's going to look like. I don't know. What would we want? What do we want?
I reckon it might be White Edge from Mania to go with the Orton.
So you think it's going to be another modern Edge?
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got the one coming in Legends 14, which is the Brood one, isn't it? So maybe they are going to do another modern Edge, possibly. Yeah, probably to go with Orton. You're probably right. So Bret Hart, we've seen the images of that. We'll get them up on the screen. What are we all thinking? It's the chase.
It's going to come down to the head scan again, isn't it? Or the head sculpt. They're never great with Bret. They haven't nailed it yet, and another attempt failed. Face looks okay, but no idea why the hairline's so back there. Just can't get him right, can it? The ties look great, but
obviously comes the IC title. It's for me. I think it's a good figure. They just can't get there, like you say. They seem to struggle to get that face right. There's a lot of talk about the hairline as well. I don't know. Sometimes I do wonder whenever they release these pictures. I don't think they choose the best figures, as we know. Sometimes, some are better than others of the same figure. So, you'll get them and their eyes are skew with or the hair's like not placed properly. I think they just grab any figure and take a picture of it. Like they don't necessarily look for the best one. Let's hope that the ones that are actually released, the majority of them, the hair is kind of in a better position. That's kind of what I'm hoping. But maybe that's wishful thinking.
I don't know about you, Shaun, but I kind of look at the Bret figures and I'm like, that would be cool for custom parts. Like there's another torso that's going to cost me less for an Owen that I'm going to do. So it's like it's going to cost less money because everyone needs Chad Gables to do Owens or Perfects if you want to do that. And it's for me, I'm like looking at it like, go cool, I can buy another Bret to just pull apart and make an Owen. I think it's nice. It'll be nice to have some elite parts again for custom, so proper Bret elite boots to take that from. But yeah, I'm just referencing the pictures on my phone here. But from what I can see, it's weird because if you look at the normal figure with the black top and the pink tights, the hairline looks all right, but the other one, the hairline's horrendous. So
yeah, I do wonder if it is just the one that they've picked for the photograph. Let's hope so.
It's odd.
Yeah, I mean, Mattel have never got it right with the hair over the face, have they? So whether that's Bret or Matt Hardy or Undertaker, off the top of my head, it never looks quite right when they put the hair over the face. Everybody's twisted on about it. They've now slicked his hair back, and now it looks even worse. So we've got to be happy in there somewhere, haven't we? They're both good figures. I like the attires on them both. I don't know whether they've been done before or because his attires are always so similar, you think you've seen it before. I'm not sure. But I like them. I think they're all right. I think they're good figures. Overall, the set's great. I agree about the modern edge. I think it will be a modern edge because you'd have a really balanced mix then between the legends. Bulldog's great. I think it's one we've all been waiting for. I know some people wanted the 99 2000 Bulldog in his jeans and the boots. But I think from a wider fan service point of view, it makes sense to do this one.
Yeah, I think we'll get that Bulldog eventually anyway, won't we? It's going to come. I think that Bulldog's great. Soft goods flag, which is better than I can't remember what series it was, 50 something, the red box one. That was like the rubber flag, which was irritating. It's still a good figure. Is it the same head?
Yeah.
Is it different? Yeah, it's the same head. So yeah, it's great. Led to believe that it's going to be the collector's edition in that series, but it's going to be widely distributed, which is great news, meaning that it'll come in the assortment packs that retailers get. So you'll be able to get it everywhere. It's going to be like celebratory packaging as well for that SummerSlam, which is pretty damn cool for anyone who's keeping them in box. So that's cool. Who else is in that set? Stephanie McMahon. That's one I was pretty excited about for me personally, for Attitude Era and all that kind of thing. We haven't had a Steph like that, so that's new. What are you saying?
I think that's one I'll do with the Ultimate Triple H, just to put them together.
Yeah,
for that would be cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I'd be interested to see what's under the shirt, because it's a soft goods shirt. As before the words left in my mouth, I thought, how would I say this without sounding creepy? And there was no right way to do that. I wonder if, I don't think, did she wrestle back then, but it was in the t-shirt. So it's whether or not they've just gone for the soft goods because it's easier rather than paying for obviously new molds or whatever. But I wonder if there is sort of a wrestling shirt under there, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a cool figure, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it.
It's one that's needed, isn't it? We need an Attitude Era Steph as an elite. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that'll be a good addition to my Attitude Era collection. We've got the two guys from NXT as well. I don't think we've seen any pictures of those.
Pictures of those guys, no.
Nah, so yeah, they should be cool. And that rounds up the all of 94. So I think a solid set. I'm looking forward to that, actually. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's great news about the collector's edition. I think that's brilliant. Bulldog as well for us UK guys. Can't complain, really, can we?
That's decent.
Okay, so there's also Legends 15's been announced as well. This probably appeals to you guys a bit more than that previous set. Legends 15 consists of, it is, let me see, Lex Luger with the chase, Stacy Keibler, Kane, and X-Pac completing the DX Invasion set. So, yeah, I think they've nailed that, to be honest. What are you saying? Shaun, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I really like what they're doing with the Legends. And I know we spoke about it last week and we sort of thought X-Pac was coming, but it's good to finally see it. Like you say, it completes the DX army. It's a good figure as well. I think they've got X-Pac figures nailed on every time they've done it. This is a new head. It comes with all the soft goods as you'd expect. Great attire underneath. It's certainly the standout of the set. For me, the nice surprise was Stacy Keibler. I did not see that coming at all. No, and again, it's a great figure, two different heads. I believe it's from a time when she was McMahon's secretary. You know, we've all seen the meme of him flying back in his chair, pulling the face at the desk. I'm not even going to try and do it because it's horrific. But yeah, I think that's a great figure, great surprise. Yeah, I'll let you pick up the other two, Nick. Probably pick the two best ones.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Luger, again, I'm sitting here referencing the photos, but for me, I'm kind of looking at Luger for parts. I was not big on WCW at the time, so obviously I can get the reference of what it's trying to represent. So it's cool if you've got a left and the Wolfpack collection. It's awesome. But the Kane figure, I mean, I love the Kane figure. I bought a number of the Decade of Dominance Kane to basically have every single look. And I think that's one look that I was going to go for in a custom to do the knee pads and stuff like that and the goatee on the face, but the head scan on it is absolutely sick. I've loved every Kane figure that's come out, to be fair, including the Ultimate. But I'll be really, really intrigued to see what that's like in person. It's really sweet, looks really cool. And obviously you've got the Ruthless Aggression tag belt as well, which they're pretty rare. So you getting one of those with the figure is awesome as well. But yeah, it looks really, really good.
It's going to come with the ringside exclusive Undertaker as well, isn't it? That same belt, or is that the SmackDown one?
That's the WCW.
The WCW tag. Oh, and
Yeah.
this is the Raw one. Oh, okay. That's a shame. Oh well. So yeah, I think that Kane's great as well. I think it looks brilliant. Kane's figures are always good, like you say, Nick. I think you can't really go wrong with Kane, to be honest. I don't know whether it's because he's got a mask most of the time, and he's, you know, the nail it.
It's a whole new head mold by the looks of it. It's got a masked head, isn't it, with new hair and stuff. So it's completely.
Yeah, I think the hair makes the figure. To be honest, I think it looks great. Going off the images that we've seen, at least. So
Luke is the chase, right? Is Luke the chase?
Yeah, that's right. So he's in.
Am I thinking this is the first time they've done a chase with different heads?
What, for the Legend series, or just for everyone?
No, yes. Chase normally it's just like a slightly different attire, isn't it? They're just like a repaint. But then this they've got two different Luger looks. So they've got the long hair and they've got the hair tied back in the Wolfpack look. So that's a first, I think.
Yeah, great shout. That's a great shout. Remains to be seen whether there'll be a spare head in the box with it. Maybe they're just swaps. Maybe they both come with both. I don't know. Yeah. That's a good spot. Well done. I'll give you 10 points for that, Shaun. Well done. Not in the official competition, though, of course.
Of course.
You're bottom of that. No, I don't know if you are bottom, actually. I need to look up and see where we are with that. So that rounds up the Legends series then. Again, I think
solid.
Yeah, I think we're being spoiled, to be honest. I think they're doing really well. It's a Legends series that is full of legends. Can we really complain? It's ones that we haven't had before. It's like you say, that Keebler was like, whoa, didn't see that coming at all. So that's great. So next up on my list, I've got the Ruthless Aggression set that's going to be American exclusive again. Again, a new line, exciting. You got a Batista in there, Brock Lesnar in there, and a Shawn Michaels in there. So three in there, unless they announce another one. I don't know, but we know about 3 right now. What we saying about those? I think they look, again, really cool. The Brock in particular stands out for me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, the Brock's head looks a bit questionable from the pictures shown. But again, it could be as we go with the prototypes they've got or the pictures they're shown. The Batista's awesome with the gold attire and the red on it. I like the look of that. And the Shaun, I'm really happy they've done it, but I'm kind of bummed because that head scan, I was going to do a custom with that head scan. But it's cool they've actually saved us the effort, and it looks like they're using the same parts, Shaun, if you have a look. It's got the same current type mold on the crotch piece by the looks of it. But I don't know if that torso is a bit skinny. He looks a bit skinny in that photo. Maybe it's just me, but maybe the torso's a bit skinny, but maybe Shaun can elaborate on his feelings on that.
Yeah, the Michaels is another torso they've never quite got right. They've used the same torso, I think, for his rockers all the way through to this sort of era. I think he probably had a little bit of a hairy chest in the Ruthless Aggression as well, didn't he? So, but we're nitpicking now. I mean, we're, like Johnny says, we're absolutely spoiled here for these ones. The Brock is Brock. We've seen that a few times before. Hopefully, they've improved the technology on the face scan, but it's just a standard Brock figure. But again, cool to get another one for those that missed out on the others. Like you said, Batista's solid. Michaels, I love the red and white. I think I even mentioned last week we could do with one, and lo and behold, this one's popped up. So, yeah, and it's exciting that we're getting these new sets. This shows that Mattel really are invested in giving the fans what they want. Everybody wants Ruthless Aggression or Attitude Era, and here we are getting them week on week. So it's great.
Yeah, I think it's like you say. We said it a few times already, but I think we are being spoiled. It's an exciting time to be a collector. Definitely an exciting time if you're collecting the Mattel stuff, obviously. So as well as those elites, we've got the Superstars series, which is Walmart exclusive, I believe. There's already Wave 1, but I don't even think it's hit yet. And we've announced Wave 2. I personally like these. I don't know if you guys have had a look at these. I know that it might not be up your street, but I'm like, now I've seen Wave 2, I'm like, I'm going to have to get Wave 1 now. Wave 2, I just think they look really, really cool. I think I prefer them to retros. They're just different. I like the packaging. I like everything about them, to be honest. So in the second line, we've got Nash, Shawn Michaels again, Warrior, and Hall. Again, I mean, you can't the top guys. You're going to want people, if you're going to want the figures, you're going to want those ones, aren't you? So, yeah, I don't know if you guys have got much to add to that. I'm not sure if they're up your street or not.
Yeah, I like them, strangely. But my only reservation with investing in anything new that Mattel brings out is, given from the retro line and the Masters of the Universe and the other ones they've done, even as far back as the Monsters line and things like that, they're very, very short-lived. And as you can see here, I'm a bit of a completionist. And I think my worry is I'd buy these ones, that cancel them 5 or 6 series in, and then I'd want to make one of everybody on them. But if you can appreciate like an actual collector probably would, I think they look great. They've got the soft goods. It's their iconic characters. It's unique. It's different. It's a sort of a style and articulation we haven't really seen too many times of since the He-Man Masters of the Universe figures.
Kind of like the Remco,
yeah,
like a kind of take on the Remco style figures. I really like them. I'm sold. I'm gonna get them. So
I like them to look at. I'm not spending any more money on them.
Okay, fair enough. What you say next? Sorry.
I'm torn. I'm in the middle ground. I think I'll probably wait till you get them and then get your impressions, and we can maybe look at them on here, and I'll be like,
All right, yeah. So I'm going to be the guinea pig on those. It looks like. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. So we also got Shaun the Ultimate Edition Shawn Michaels, which is going to be Amazon exclusive. I personally, I'll let you guys say what you think first, because I've kind of given my view on. I've gone first on most of these, so I'll let you guys say what you think. Nick, what you reckon?
I like it. I like the fact that it's got soft goods and it's got the waistcoat, and ironically the torso's got the chest hair on it. I wasn't too sure on the hair when the hat was off. The picture I'm looking at here, and obviously we'll get them up on screen for you guys to see, but I was a bit perplexed by the hair because it's got like the weird side fringe. And I know it's accurate, but it looked a bit off. But I'm guessing obviously because it's an Ultimate Edition, they'll have multiple different heads and stuff like that. So, but it's a really cool, iconic attire, and I love the soft goods. It looks awesome with the waistcoat and stuff. Really cool.
Yeah, in terms of a figure, I mean, that's got it all, hasn't it? It's such a good look as well. I'm really excited about that one. It's got earrings. I think it must have 2 heads. One of the earrings look like the part of the head, because I don't think they've quite got to the point of removable earrings. But I think there's 2 heads. Am I right? I'm sure there is. It's a great figure. I love this one. I'm really excited by it. And I've never been a massive Michaels fan, but that'll be figure of the year. That'll be this year's Karma. That I think.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I really, really like it. Again, just reiterating what you guys think. I'm on board with it. I think it's brilliant. Like I say, it's going to be Amazon exclusive. There's also there's a Goldberg Ultimate Edition out in the ether as well. We've not seen any images, but it's a thing. It's definitely happening. It's also confirmed that both of these, so Goldberg and Shawn Michaels, have been picked up by Amazon UK. So similar to the Jeff Hardy, it should be much easier for us guys in the UK to get. Won't need someone like myself to import them over and sell them over here. You should just be able to grab them from Amazon, which is fantastic, as long as they distribute them well enough, which they did okay with the Jeff, I think, the UK, but I think there's a bit of trouble with all of the others in the USA, the Triple H and the Hogan and the Rock, and yeah, it's been shambolic. But the UK, we seem to be doing all right. So yeah, there's a Goldberg and a HBK going to be on Amazon UK. So yeah, watch out for those. I don't know if that's an exclusive about the Goldberg or what, but I've seen it out there. It's definitely happening. So yeah, I might get a slap on the wrist for that, but I'll take it. What's next? So we've also got the other Ultimate Editions from the main line. It's going to be Hogan and Mr. T. Yeah, this is the main line, the next Ultimate Editions that come in. What we saying?
Yeah, it's another Hogan, but it's cool. I think they've got the headband right. Slightly different expression, I believe, maybe. Mr. T's cool. I think the Comic Con exclusive, or the exclusive before Mr. T, did he have blue? So I think they've gone for his more iconic red. Again, cool. We're being spoilt a little bit with the Ultimate line, aren't we? Is it a 2-pack, or is it these 2 singles, Johnny?
No, there'll be 2 singles. I think the Hogan's fantastic. Personally, I think that's one of the best Hogan figures we've ever had. That's, we've only seen these images. Don't want to get too carried away, but for me, I think I think that looks great. I think it's brilliant. I'll definitely be getting that. Mr. T, I'm not so fussed on. It's Mr. T. But yeah, I mean, I'm really, really pleased with that. Nick, what you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's on the cusp for me because it's just before my era of watching it, so I've got vague recollections of that time and when they were together. And that's just like WrestleMania 1. I was like 1 year old, but cool pieces, soft goods, always good. I think just scrolling through the pictures here and the thread that we're looking at, and obviously again we'll get the pictures on screen. Hogan does come with another head. There's been a lot of feedback on the other head looking really good. It's more of a stern-faced look on it. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, if you've missed out on the other Amazon exclusive Hogan, you can get that one. And obviously they've got the Survivor Series Hogan. You can pop the head on and pretend you've got the Amazon Hogan if you had the Ultimate. So if they're going to be easy enough to get, which if they're part of the main line, then they will be. There's a lot of options for customs and stuff like that as well with the chest piece and stuff. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting as well, even if you're not a customizer, so even if you're not somebody who's swapping parts and heads and, you know, all these different attires around all the time, it's a really exciting time, isn't it? Because it started off with the removable hands, and then it's come to the heads, and now every head, I don't know if it's everybody's aware, but all heads now moving forward are replaceable. They all just pop off, whereas historically had to be quite creative. So now they're all that sort of you can customize as you go, really. So even if you're not a customizer, I think it's great to be able to swap the heads and the hands and the body parts around. I think that's it. We really are being spoiled, I think, by Mattel. They really are listening to the feedback of the fans and really trying to do something different. And I'm really excited by it. I think it's excellent. I'm really
Got to give them kudos. I mean, as collectors, I mean, us three, it must be, you know, a kind of just a sample of the wider community collecting. And we complain about everything. We moan, we whinge about this, that, the other. But actually, they're doing a great job. I love collecting. I love being part of this, the Mattel kind of, I don't know how to word it, but, you know, as a seller, I love retailing this stuff. It's a huge... It's huge, and I think that they are doing really, really well with it. Definitely getting better as well. Certainly no signs of slowing down from that perspective. Okay, so next is the Hogan Wolfpack ringside exclusive. Yeah, what we saying?
Yeah, so people might not know, but I actually collect all the WCW figures as well. They're just not on display because I haven't got enough space. So I tend to buy them all anyway. So this is another one that I'll buy. I'll be honest, I was never a watcher of WCW at all. But as a completionist, I want all of these figures because they look cool and they're sort of complete in the line. It's another solid figure, really, really good. Again, we keep bleating on about the soft goods and the head scans, but it's just ticking every box that you would want from a wrestling figure. It's great. It's a great figure.
Yeah. Just a quick note, you can pre-order them now on the website, superpowertoys.co.uk, wrestlehq.com. If you're in the UK and you don't want to import them yourself, you can go and pre-order it right now. So yeah, go and grab them. You can pay a £5 deposit and just pay the rest when they arrive, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to pay anything up front other than the deposit. So yeah, but I think it's a great figure. I'll definitely be keeping one of those. Probably going to be the start of a WCW collection for me. Similar to you, Shaun, I'm not actually that bothered by WCW, but the figures are cool. So yeah, I can already feel myself going down a rabbit hole.
There's one little nitpick I've got with it again while we're on, because I know you said we're quite critical. Knee pads. The knee pads are a little bit inaccurate. So again, for anybody who is really looking for that attention to detail, they've done the same as they did with the Jericho Attitude figure, where they've decided to paint knee pads and put knee pads on when they could have just gone for the black knee pads. Again, really nitpicking, but it does beg the question, why do Mattel go really one way where they ignore detail and miss the fine detail that is obvious, and then this is where they've gone the other way and almost created work for themselves when they didn't need to. So I do, it's a conversation for another day, how the Mattel design team works sometimes. But yeah, don't let that spoil ordering one of these or getting one of these in your collection, because anybody can swap the pads. But it does beg the question why they make these decisions sometimes.
Yeah, just on that, before I ask your opinion, Nick, I wonder if it's a thing of, because it looks to me as if the figures kind of had the knee pads put on and then they've painted the kind of the detail on the legs, on the pants. I wonder if it's literally that. I wonder if it's just cost effective to have the figure assembled and then to paint it, and so therefore the paint is over the knee pads. Maybe is that the reason? Do you think? Who knows? But
I don't know. I think because obviously they're decals in essence. I mean, they're not the decals in the conventional way that we customize because they're probably way less, difficult to fit. But if anything, it'd be more difficult to add that design to the knee pad than it would just leave it black. So it's unless it's like you say, maybe the process where they can just drop a leg in a machine and it goes and it just pastes it on, then you'd have remnants of it all over the inside of the leg as well anyway. So it's weird how maybe they'd have done it. But as you say, you can swap the knee pads over or else turn the logos off and it's accurate. So it's interesting. But for me, again, not a big WCW guy, but one's Hogan, two, it's Wolfpack. Wolfpack was cool. And yeah, just having, it's another, as we like to say, toyetic figure of that time and era. It looks cool. It's part of the Ultimate line, so I have to have it.
Yeah, I mean, again, considering this is all just 1 week's announcements, like it's mad, really.
You've got
really exciting time. So so that's all of the elites. I think there's probably some stuff we've missed, there definitely will be, but Funko have announced some awesome stuff just today, like on the day we've recorded this. I'll put some images up there. I don't have that much information, like I say, it's just been literally announced like really, really soon before we recorded this. So I'm not massively up on the details, but I know there's Dude Love in there, there's Cactus Jack in there. There'll be a lot of these that'll be American exclusive, I would imagine. There's a Brock Lesnar, new Razor Ramon, we've got a Bliss she'll be in the main line with a Chase, Undertaker in a coffin. The Brock Lesnar's like with the long hair, the modern version. There's an Eddie in the lowrider, that's sick. There's going to be a Rock and Cena moment with the ring. There's a DX2 pack. There's an NWO 3-pack. Some other exclusive. I think there's a Brown Mankind's in there. There's all sorts happening. And again, annoyingly, they know exactly the target market. It's Attitude Era. It's WCW stuff, and it's going to cost me a lot of money. So, yeah. As and when they will be available for pre-order again on the website, so keep an eye out for those. Again, it's all fresh information, this to me, so there's nothing at the moment at the time of recording, but by the time this goes out, hopefully I'll have a bit more info for you. Other than that, the only other bit of news that I've got, you guys might have some extra, I don't know, but Unmatched Series 1 has finally hit the UK at retail, so they're in stock now on the website as well. It's Darby Allin, Kenny Omega, Miro, Britt Baker, Dustin, and the Cody LJN as well. I know a lot of people are after this Darby, so yeah, they're up on the website right now, unless they've sold out by the time I've edited this video. So go grab those for retail. No import charges on those now. But yeah, anything else to add to that, guys? I think it's a fairly stacked figure news section for us. I'm out of breath.
That was a big one.
That was a big one.
That's what she said.
Okay, well, there you go. Moving on, we are going to do our collection catch-up. See you there. Okay, welcome to Collection Catch-up. It's week 2, so we're pretty new to this whole podcast, really. And is it a podcast or is it a YouTube series? Who knows? We don't even know what we're doing, do we? We're just going with it. Yeah, we'll probably release some stuff to just audio as well. That's but a lot of this is visual. It's be pretty rubbish as a podcast, so we'll stick with YouTube for the time being. But yeah, I digress. Yeah, collection catch up for me, obviously. If you saw the first episode, if you haven't, you should go back and watch it. But if you did, you'll know that I started a collection. I'm just going for Attitude Era stuff. So I picked up the Top Picks Rock last week because I just think it's awesome. I've already got Rock stuff anyway, but I'm going for everyone in the Attitude Era. And I got myself the Ultimate Edition Stone Cold. It's a must. Obviously, I'm going to start with Rock and Austin. Is there a better place to start for the Attitude Era collection than Rock and Austin? I don't think so, in my opinion. Is this the best Austin figure? I thought so. I had a look. I want to get the best of all of them, of the ones that I get. I'll just get one of each, but I thought I'd get the best of each, and I went for the Ultimate Stone Cold. I'm kind of looking at you guys for your opinion, because I'm like, is this the best Austin? Have I made the right choice?
Yeah. Clues title. It's the Ultimate you've got a bit of everything in there, Ross, and a couple of different head scans and the shirt and everything. Yeah, that would be the one I would pick if I had to pick one.
Yeah, so I've gone for that. And I also picked up this, bit pricey, not complete. Don't even like the figure. I'm going to speak to you guys about potentially doing a head swap on it. But yeah, I went for the Triple H Defining Moments.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, it's just, for me, it's all about, this isn't the nostalgia for me. That moment was the moment.
Not Attitude Era.
Now, I had a feeling you're going to bring this up.
2002. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. So, yeah.
I'm sure Mr. Loophole there can find a way to get that into as an attitude.
Yeah. It's Triple H, so it counts. Yeah, it's fine.
Honestly, that is probably my least favorite ever Mattel figure. I think the head is woeful.
Do you know how much I paid for this? I thought you'd be impressed.
You've been robbed. You couldn't give me
that. For God's sake! What?
No T-shirt.
Yeah, there's no T-shirt. I know. I got it a bit cheaper because there's no T-shirt. But you seriously. I thought I'd be like, oh, these guys are going to be so impressed. I've got like a grail figure. This is really hard to get.
Yes, it is. I'd take a Bob Orton over that.
Oh, for God's sake. Well, I like it anyway. With a head swap, that'll be all right, won't it? Maybe get one of you guys to paint the jeans instead of, I don't know. Can you make this better?
Yes, I'll swap it for the best of Wrestlemania pick that you did last week.
Oh yeah, the guy who's going swimming. Yeah. Random guy swimming. Yeah, but anyway, I got this. It's the moment for me. I know you say it's not Attitude Era. It did dawn on me at the time, like, hold on. I've lived my whole life as a lie. I'm not an Attitude Era guy. I'm a hybrid of Attitude Era and early kind of ruthless aggression kind of hybrid. So I'm just going for what means something to me, and his return, that was Triple H's best moment when he came back. Cool. I thought it was epic. So I've gone for that. That's the Triple H that I want. I agree. It could be better if I can swap the head, keep the jacket, maybe do something with these bloody jeans. Maybe that'll be nice on my shelf with my Ultimate Austin and my Rock, and then see where I go next week. But yeah, I can't believe you're not impressed with that.
I think Mac Decal's done a really cool head swap with the Jax figure. Looked really good. There's really good Jax of the same figure.
Right.
He put the Jax head on it. It looked really good. I think it was. But yeah, look decent.
I'm gonna have to speak with Mark, definitely. Nick, how about you? What are you? What was your collection catch up this week?
So for me, please hold while I change my view. I'm doing some more production values this time.
Look at him.
The Elite 91s, the rest of those. So obviously the last episode, I got the Hogans from you, and I picked up a couple of the RVDs. So come through this morning. Actually, ironically, come through yesterday, and the postman was nice to left me a red slip. So I was up nice and early this morning, knowing we were going to be recording for today, and I'm going to grab these from sorting office. But the rest of Elite 91, I believe. So it's Austin Theory, Kevin Owens, Bianca Belair. Just to refer to what you said earlier, Shaun, about removable earrings, she actually has removable earrings.
Wow.
There you go. And Sami Zayn with his little Sammy Slammy. So pretty decent line. I'm getting to that stage with my collection where I still know who people are, but I'm not semi not invested in who these people are. So Austin Theory, not a great fan. Didn't need another Johnny Dent figure. Obviously Bianca Belair I'm a big fan of. I like her work, and that's called Typhomania. And then Sammy, I've not really seen much of his stuff like that, and obviously the conspiracy stuff, but the Johnny Dent figure wasn't necessary, so I didn't really need that. But Sammy should have had a hairy torso, bit of a letdown, but we can always part swap that. But solid figures.
Yeah, it's a great set. The Johnny Dent figure, as you call it, aka Kevin Owens. Everyone says I look like Kevin Owens. I've got a beard and a head and 2 arms and 2 legs. Come on.
I like how he slipped in the insult mid-floor and just carried on reviewing.
Yeah, because he knows I'm not allowed to interrupt him. It's one of the rules. But yeah, I think it's a solid set. I think it's great. Austin Theory, by the way, you should go and watch him. I think he's great. He's an up and coming talent. He's really good. Future title shot for him, I think, is coming. But yeah, I think it's a solid set. I actually really like that Kevin Owens figure. I think think it's cool. Bianca Belair. It's interesting you said about the earrings because when I was, I've been packing a lot of these this week because obviously I've just got them in stock. I was looking at the earrings. I did wonder if they were removable, and I thought, nah, surely not. But it's cool that they are, I guess.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn. I think it's a great version of Sami Zayn. Yeah, I think it looks great. Great set. Nice pickups. Well done. Congratulations.
You did point out, Nick, something that I want to check if it's just me or is it a real world problem or is it just wrestling figure collectors? Because I know what we're like. When you miss the postman and you see the slip and you know you have to wait a full 24 hours to get down to the sorting office to get them, and it pains you that waiting that little bit longer. Is that a real problem in the real world, or is it just because we want our figures out and we want them now?
I was raging, mate. I got home. Johnny said, "Did you get them come through?" I said, "Yeah, I've been in the office. I've been working. I don't know." And I got back expecting a nice big brown box in front of the door. And I got a red slip, and I was seething. Real first world problems. But obviously, went this morning, got them this morning, so we got them for today for recording. But it's annoying because my postman comes when I'm at home working from home, and when I go to the office, I always get a red slip, and that really, really annoys me. It's a first world problem.
The slip of doom.
I think it's just us then. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, you're just impatient. Most people are happy to wait 24 hours, I think. But yeah, 91. So you've got them all now. Yeah, so you'll be able to sleep now. You've got a full set.
Tonight I'll be good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's our catch up. Shaun, how about you? What's your catch up for this week?
Oh, I'm glad you've talked about losing sleep there. So my collection is actually going backwards this week. I've sold some of my collection. Hell has frozen over. I know, and trust me, I have lost sleep over it, but there is a very good reason for doing it. So here are 12 of my collection. Now they're all customs. So we've got the New Rockers, we've got Furnace and Lafon, we've got Todd Pettengill, Doc Hendricks, Mr. Fuji in a robe. I hope you can sort of see. I dared touch them or move them. We've got the Body Donners and we've got the Godwins. I can take better pictures and we can share them on the group. But somebody messaged me on Instagram, who shall we name anonymous, and said he wanted to make an offer for these figures. Now, you know what I'm like with my collection. I'm very protective over it. So at first it was like a definite no, sorry, that ain't happening. I ain't selling these. These are customs, one of a kind, made by some of the greatest customizers out there and some by me. But he has managed to pry them away from me. So these are going to go to someone else.
I have to say, I mean, I know where this is going because we've already talked about it. And I'm going to let you tell the story, but I'm still in shock that you let them go.
How are you going to replace some of those figures with the parts and costs involved in some of those bits and the time and effort and stuff?
Well, with difficulty. So the Godwins, so if you're not a customizer, you probably don't realize how expensive some of these parts can get, especially for an old figure. So the Godwins are very difficult. The overalls that are on the Godwins here only come with Hillbilly Jim. So this is Phineas there. So these are obviously the cloth overalls, and they only come with Hillbilly Jim. So that's an expensive figure to get. They haven't come with anyone else. So in other words, to replace these two, I'm gonna have to buy at least 2 Hillbilly Jims, literally just for the overalls. All of the
you got Doink buckets for those as well. They're not cheap.
No, Doink isn't cheap. They're going to be difficult. I mean, all of the head sculpts are readily available and out there, but it's the time and process of buying them again, having somebody repair them. And like I said, these weren't all created by me. Some of them were, some of them weren't. So I now need to go groveling back to my customizer to say, can you please make me 2 more? Because, I didn't tell them I've sold them, but they are all, the bottom line is they are all replaceable. But I think when anything is in your collection, it's yours and it has a value to you. And you know the time and effort and process that you've been through to get them, especially with customs. I mean, some of these here are just... even if you're not a fan of these guys or you're not a fan of customs, the work that goes into them and the detail on them alone is crazy good. And as a completionist for me, you have to have all of these guys. So it's paining me to have spaces behind me in my shelves that I look at every day and get upset about. Sweating. But they are replaceable. They are replaceable. It's worth noting as well at this point that the gentleman who wants to buy these and has made the offer, I did divulge that these are also readily available. He could have got in touch with my customizers or plenty of customizers out there and reached out and said, I'm after these customs, can you make them for me? And he would have paid an awful lot less than what he's paid me for these. But some people don't want to wait. Some people are impatient and are quite happy to just invest in something. These are fantastic figures. These are really fantastic figures.
Yeah, I have to say again, they're not my era. I've had the pleasure of coming to your house and seeing a collection up close, and that's just a sample of how good the customs that you have are. They're so good. I mean, look at that. That is fantastic. Look at the jacket. Like, it's incredible. They are fantastic. Really, really good. I think everyone looking at them will be like, yeah, I mean, you can't really argue with the quality and the kind of detail of them. So go on, carry on with the story then.
That's effectively the story. So the guy reached out and said, I'd like to make an offer. He told me what the offer was, and straight away I was incredibly skeptical. I know what these are worth. I know what we pay for these, and we've already talked. It's no secret that customs go between 80 to 120, 150 pound, maybe something like that. So the offer he made me was like, has he accidentally put a zero into that? Like, what's he doing? And that's at that point where I had to sort of have a bit of integrity and sort of say, you can get them much cheaper. You don't need to offer that sort of money. But he did, and he is genuinely serious. And it goes to show again the commitment that some people have to their collection. Some people do want to invest, and he made a crazy offer. You want to have a guess? Do you want to guess how much? I know we put it in the group. How much would you pay? So, Nick, if I was to say these are readily available to go on your shelves, make me an offer, Nick.
I would happily pay above and beyond what you paid for them. So obviously you're saying that the top end is 120. So I'd be like 150 to save the rushing of, having them done. You get them immediately. As you said, the craftsmanship and the quality, knowing who the customizer is, knowing that they had to come from Tom and Warsman, and knowing the detail and dedication that you as a customizer and collector put into them as well. I think that's a fair amount.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know anything about customs. I just know, and maybe this is where the guy who's made the offers come from. He's kind of like, well, listen, it's based on how much I want them and how much I like them. So it's not based on how much they're worth or how much. It's based on how much. And for me, if I wanted those in my collection, which thank God I don't, but they're fantastic. If you told me they're probably worth 120 quid each, but I don't want to sell them, I'd be tempted to offer you maybe like 200 quid each or something like that. Not that I could afford that or want to pay that much money for figures, but like that's kind of the area that I would be in. Be like, if I wanted to pry them out of your hands, then I'd offer you that. Yeah. But I mean, I already know where this is going, so yeah. So
yeah. So it took some convincing. So there was no real bargain in the offer that he put out there. I wasn't going to be as rude to have talked him up any more than what he was already offering. But the one final point I want to make on these really is, these probably will never be made by Mattel. I mean, I might be wrong, but looking at the guys in it, maybe Fuji. But the rest of them, I think it's safe to say, probably will never see the light of day in anything other than a custom form. And at the end of the day, if you've got the funds and the desire and the commitment to just go ahead and make an offer and buy these, fine. So $10,000 is what the gentleman offered for these 12 figures. Well, actually, there's only 11 here. One is missing is the Sunny figure. So that's a Jack's Classic Sunny. But yes, so he made me the offer. And even at that price, I genuinely said to my wife, I really don't want to sell them. These are mine. I don't want to give them away. She was like,
children.
Sure. Yeah, think of the children. I was like, he can't be serious. So, I've got a massive shout out to this guy. It's a massive sum of money. He is obviously buying an incredible product here, and I am going to take good care of them, make sure he gets them. And I'm massively proud that somebody would want to, and humbled that somebody would want to buy these for my collection. That is a crazy amount of money for anybody, and massive shout out to the guy. He knows who he is. If he does watch this, which is probably unlikely, if he's got money to spend like that. I don't know. He'll have Wi-Fi on his yacht, won't he? So this is not to gloat at all. If anything, it's just to really prove the point that if people are committed and they want a collection, kudos to them, because look what you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, when me and you talked about this, Shaun, about putting it on the show and stuff like that, because obviously we were like, we've got to talk about this, but we were also conscious that no one would believe it. Like, it's just made up kind of publicity stunt. That, like, it's genuinely true. That, like, I've seen all of the messages. I've seen the transactions. We'll even put the transactions on the screen, block out all of the information. Like, it's legit. Shaun sold 12 of his figures. 12, right?
12, yeah.
For $10,000. Episode 2 of the Collect the Cast. Yeah, I mean, crazy.
I've got another 874. By the way, if anybody wants to make me,
well, actually,
that seems to be the going rate now.
Well, actually, it'll be 872 by the end of this series because I'm going to take a couple of those from you. Now I know what they're worth as well. Actually, hopefully we end the series before you ship those, and I'll take 2 of them, and he can come and
He's going
me.
tomorrow. He's going tomorrow.
He can message me. Yeah, absolutely crazy. But yeah, I mean, like you say, it just goes to show the commitment that some people have to this hobby is just wild, isn't it? It's it's in our blood almost, isn't it? It's almost like it really is. Awesome. So wow, what a collector's collection catch up that's been. Wow. I don't think episode 2, I can't see us beating that, but yeah, $10,000, absolutely crazy, insane. But yeah, there you go. Okay, well, let's just move on. We're going to head over to Customs Corner. Okay, welcome to Custom Corner. I'm going to hand it straight over to the what I call experts. I don't know anything about customs. I am slowly falling in love with them, I have to admit. But yeah, hopefully, like I showed earlier, I'll have this guy customized in a few weeks and be able to show that off. And it might be my first custom. I do have another custom rock up there from Mac Decals as well. Mac Decals gets a lot of shout outs on this show, doesn't he? But he deserves it. Yeah, so yeah, I'll just go straight to Shaun. Custom Corner, what are we doing this week? What we're talking about?
So, while he's topical, Mac Decals, another shout out. So this is a Mac Decals work, the Hurricane, from his very, very early sort of gimmick. So it's one we haven't seen in any of the Legends form or any of the other Elite forms. And again, Mac is top of the trade, isn't he? When you look at the work that he's got on here, it's an actual Mattel cape, but he's gone all out with actual Velcro. I hope that picks that up onto the actual figure itself there as well. So one step further, it's using an old Jakks Titantron live head, which he's managed to fit onto an Elite body, which isn't always easy to do. But again, it's a great figure look. It's a look at the Hurricane we haven't seen. I didn't have, so I had to commission this piece for Mac, and he has absolutely nailed that spot on.
Attitude Era?
Is it Attitude Era? No, you can't really squeeze that one in as well. It's after Triple H that you've got.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, okay, so let's just nail this now. This has got nothing to do with Customs Corner, but I haven't got a clue when I watched wrestling and when I was like properly in love with wrestling. I don't know what era that is, but Hurricane was in there. Rock and Hurricane, all that as well. Yeah. Anyway, back to you, Shaun.
I think this Hurricane might have just been before your Triple H actually, but it's around there. I remember him choke slamming Triple H in Austin, or trying to choke slam in the Rumble.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna need a Hurricane. I don't know which Hurricane it is. That was kind of where I was going with that. But
if you want an earlier one, this would be the one to go for.
Yeah, the expensive route. Okay, great, brilliant.
So another one, nice simple one. This just a few simple part swaps. This is a man's man Steven Regal. Does anyone remember this gimmick? It was terrible.
The hat. You're going to get a little.
I am. I'm going to try and get him a little yellow hard hat. So this was, I think it was around Survivor Series '98. I think he had a match with X-Pac. I think it was a double count out. Actually, terrible. He was in bad shape. Regal back then. It wasn't a great gimmick. I think he gets ribbed about it now. But this is again, it's nice simple part swaps. Elite Brutus boots. They're not the Regal boots from the Brutus Wrestlemania. The taller, but they're a great color fit. Austin shorts, standard black t-shirt with a Foley vest, and this is actually a Jakks Regal head because it's a bit of a meaner expression than the Mattel one. But if you're after completionist like me and you're looking at cover all gimmicks that stand out, this is a nice simple one to go for if anyone wants to give it a go. Feel free to reach out to any of us, by the way, if you want me to elaborate on how to do any of these things. And finally, the goon. So it looks like your standard old goon, but it really isn't. It's a mix of what the goon exclusive that's out there now, the collector's edition, and some custom parts. So it is the Mattel head and shirt and gloves and hockey stick. But the trousers is where it gets a little bit creative. So I think these are Kevin Owen shorts, and the name of the chap eludes me. He was in with Nikki Cross and
was Eric Young.
Eric Young. It is Eric Young. Eric Young boots with thickened soles, so to make his iconic sort of weird looking boots that were meant to look like hockey skates. Terrible. I've made a terrible figure even more terrible, I think. I just, the Mattel release wasn't cutting it for me. I didn't like the blue. The boots weren't quite accurate enough for me. So, just being a bit of a perfectionist, I've taken Mattel's and just what I think of as just simply improving it. So I'm really pleased with how this one turned out. I actually had this before Mattel released the goon. I've just basically added parts to it. So yeah, that's it for me this week. So 3 very different terrible gimmicks, really. How the Hurricane made his work, I don't know, but
you've got to have them all, right, Shaun?
Yeah, you've got to have them all.
It's funny you say about the goon. You're just like, oh well, the standard one that's just out there. Well, it's not, is it? Like, it's so hard to get hold of. We had a conversation before about these. I don't know what's going on with collector's editions at the moment. They've always been hard to get, but geez, it's Zodiac, the goon. I don't know where Strong Boys. I don't know what's going on. They're just, Anyway, I digress. Sorry, I keep interjecting in your customs and talking about Mattel stuff. I do apologize.
Well, we couldn't do it without them, could we? We couldn't do it without them.
That's very true. That's very true.
And some people might be pained for me to take an actual very hard to find figure and cutting it into pieces and making something which isn't Mattel, but collections are all what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is why these things are expensive. So you've essentially taken a very hard to get, like very, very hard to get figure and just wrecked it to make your goon. So therefore, your goon is worth far more because it's got all that work into it as well, plus the cost of the original figure. So yeah, it's mad. You guys are mad, but I love you. Right, Nick.
It's been for me, mate. I'll start off with upsetting people. The first one is an Ultimate Edition 2005 Hogan. I didn't really think this through because the rubber goods shirt doesn't actually close on his chest because his chest's now too big.
I warned you about that last week.
But I'm going to I've got another Hogan 91 I'm going to do the Chic swap torso with. So this is my ultimate version of this. But what I'll do is I'll get a cloth t-shirt to replace that. So it was interesting to see some of the opinions online about doing an ultimate torso crack. A lot of people don't know how to do that. So shouts to Mac and a guy called Manny as well, who gave me some information and guidance on that. It was fairly easy, to be fair, but it's very, very weird. It's like, it's got these weird alien type parts on the butterfly joints, and it's unlike an Elite where you can just crack and go. It was interesting to take apart. But yeah, basically an Ultimate Edition version of the Elite 91 Hogan, which is quite cool.
Very cool. If only you'd watched the podcast, though, you would have known that the shirt wasn't going to fit Nick. It is very cool.
Did you mention that last week, Shaun?
I did mention that last week. You need to go back and watch it. I did mention it. Not on the Ultimate Edition, but I did mention that the Hogan torso was too small and the shirt didn't fit. But as a customizer, Nick will agree here that you find a workaround. So Nick's already identified his fix straight away. I'll get a cloth shirt. But that's cool. I like what you've done there. Yeah, very cool.
Off the back of the first podcast, I've done some more additions to Grandmaster Sexay now. He's actually got a painted face. Let's try and get him in focus. He was really difficult, to be fair. Taking off the decals was nice and easy after the discussion we had. But I found painting his face was a real chore, but an enjoyable chore by all means. Try and get some focus on him.
We'll stick a picture of it, Nick. If you send me a picture,
definitely, and I'll put him on the other camera in a second. He was fun. Head by head aeration, really cool. I glossed over his goggles as well, so he's got a bit of shine to those. They actually look plastic and shiny, which is cool. I am probably going to change the hands to a set of Shawn Michaels gloved hands from one of the basics that I've got. And I did change his boots to trainers, which are Cena trainers to match the type of boots that he wore. I'm still waiting for, in the post, my Luke Harper white vest as per recommendations from the first podcast. So that's coming in the post, hopefully, and I can do that for him as well, and maybe get some other bits going for him. So I did talk to Federation for those who are interested. I raised the concern that this head scan he's doing has got either glasses and the goggles or no glasses and the goggles. He is doing a non-goggled, non-glasses version for those who are interested. So I know Shaun was. So it is coming, I think, within the next 2-3 weeks. Next one I'm working on, and I've got a customer, someone else will come back to it last. This one is still a bit fragile, but this is an Owen that I'm working on. Again, it's difficult to get a focus point on this, but this is an Owen that I'm working on from '94. Head scan done by a guy called Gonzo Customs. There you go, painted by me. And I've spent a lot of time working on this, trying to get this perfect. And it's one of the customs that I really want to nail. And I'm really happy with the head scan. So again, we'll get some pictures up of that. But he's still, as you can see, very early stages, but the hard work is done. So it's just a matter of, again, Chad Gable torso, as we said earlier. But it's a matter of just getting him together and doing the decals and stuff. So that should be good fun.
Nice. Owen, so I always love seeing Owen Customs. Sorry, Nick, to dive in, but Owen Customs to me always look great because, again, it's another one I don't think Mattel will ever probably get the license for. I know, obviously, Jazzwares, I think, are going to do some Owens, but I love seeing Owen Customs. You've nailed that. That's a really good one. I like that.
For me as well, it's just like I always kind of feel with Owen Customs, I want to do them justice because I'm such a big fan, and they're always kind of semi-intricate attires as well. So doing those decals and making sure they're perfect, it's going to be a labour of love, but when it's done, I really enjoy it, like I did that Brett that I did.
Yeah.
The last one is been a topic of controversy for me and a fun weekend last weekend over this. But this is probably one of the best customs that I've actually got in my collection, to be fair, a bit of reflection and thinking about it. This is the Rising Sun RVD Elite 91, in essence, chase figure. But Mac Decal's interpretation of what he felt would be a ring-accurate version of this attire. So there are some differences to the Mattel release that came out, but in essence, it's effectively as ring accurate as you would get to what RVD wore in the ring. We had a number of discussions. He did design and redo all of the back decals on this, so he's absolutely nailed it from a creative standpoint and an implementation standpoint. It's fantastic. I know, Shaun, I think you did a custom yourself, and it's a little bit different to that, and it's got obviously different paint scheme to match the actual attire that he wore, but really cool piece, awesome to have. You know, as we've said, we talk about Mac a lot, but obviously he deserves the props and stance that he gets because his work is phenomenal. And for me as a customizer, I always, you know, he is the alongside a showstopper and guys like that, he's the acid test of, like, you know, if I can ever be this good, then, you know, I know I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, there's not going to be many people at all in the world going to have Rising Sun RVD in their collection. So yeah, I mean, it looks brilliant. Looks absolutely fantastic.
Well. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, great job. You've got a bit of a giveaway to do, haven't you, Nick? You're going to be doing that in the group. Yeah,
so we put up, well, I say I speak for the three of us, but I done it myself. So I put a little thing up in the group on Facebook. As some of you guys know, I do 3D print my own stuff alongside with a guy, as I say, called Gonzo Customs in the US, Head Gimmicks. Really nice guy, Mark Cochran in the US, just offering something different to collectors. And at the moment, I've got a couple of spares that I thought, you know what, I can put them in the group and get these out there. So we've got a Scott Steiner tag team version of him with the long hair. And then we've got obviously his brother Rick with the head piece and his face there. So again, we'll get pictures up and stuff, but the actual drawing for that will happen this weekend. We've got all the names in the hat from the poll that we did on the group. What I'll do is I'll do full list, randomize a video on the page, just show you guys we're not fixing it and it's not favorites or anything like that. We'll randomize it, pick a winner, and then I'll be in touch and I'll get these out to you over the weekend.
Sounds great. Look forward to that. Brilliant. Yeah, speaking of the group, actually, if you're watching this and you don't know what we're talking about, go and join the Facebook group. It's the Wrestle HQ Collector Cast group. Just go and join. There's loads of people in there, loads of discussions. We have a bit of banter. You can vote on our Wrestlemania competition. You can win stuff. You can be entered into our Hall of Fame. You can be you can get your customs shown off and all sorts. So yeah, get in the group. Go join, and we'll see you there. Yeah. So if you guys are all done with your customs, let's show off some other people's customs. There's some submissions in the groups. I don't know if you guys picked up any customs from other pages this week. I know we didn't actually discuss this before we started recording. So yeah,
there's been, as I've seen on Instagram, there's been a ton of love for this. So it's cool to have, obviously this in my collection and in hand, but there's been a lot of love from Headeration, the NWF, Mac himself. There's been a ton of love for this one, so I think that's going to be my pick for this week because it's been out there in the wild as well, and people have been talking about it. So
yeah, I think it has to be, doesn't it? Especially just how relevant it is as well. You know, it's the latest set that's just come out. You've actually just got those in hand, the full set, and now you've got the custom of the chase that was pulled as well. So yeah, I think that's definitely got to be in there. For me, I did see one in the group, and I'm going to go for. I mean, Mac put some other ones. Mac did actually submit that figure in the group actually as well, so it's legit. Yeah. So you know, he is in the competition anyway. So we'll give a shout out to Mac Decals, and I'll put his Instagram handle in the picture. You should be able to see that just now. And the other one that I was going to pick out was from Kai Barks. It was an Ultimate Warrior custom. I don't know if you guys saw this one from his last ever match.
I did see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. So yeah, go and follow Kai. He's got Break the Figures Down on Instagram. So it's just Break the Figures Down, no underscores or anything like that. Yeah, really, really good custom. Well done, Kai, mate. Congratulations. Yeah, awesome. Okay, let's go to the Hall of Fame ceremony. Welcome to the Collector Cast Hall of Fame. Hope you're all seated. Hope you've all got your suits on, tuxedos. As you can see, we've all dressed to impress. We've had the music, we've had the intro, and now it's time to induct our second inductee into the Collector Cast Hall of Fame. And this week it is Mr. Aidan O'Connell. He posted a picture of one of his deliveries. Again, this is fairly new. Some of these deliveries might be from a while ago, just as it builds up. But we are going to narrow it down to stuff that you've got within that week coming up. But yeah, a bit more leeway in the first few weeks. He posted a picture of 4 signed figures. So I mean, 4 signed figures in itself doesn't matter who they are. It's a pretty damn cool delivery. But yeah, you got a Kairi Sane, Alexa Bliss Funko Pop. You got the NXT Nakamura and the signed Finn Balor Top Picks figure as well. That's a pretty decent delivery. 4 signed figures. Can't really argue with that. So yeah, congratulations to Aidan, inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, we won't get you to do a speech, but congrats. So here we are, still on the road to WrestleMania. Each episode in the run-up to WrestleMania, we're going to be reviewing the best and the worst WrestleMania figures as voted for by us, and then you guys are going to vote on it in the group. The loser of the series overall, out of us 3, is going to lose 2 figures from their collection, chosen by the other 2. We get to choose 1 each from their collection. So I am seriously looking forward to purging one of your collections. Probably Shaun's now. We know the value of them.
Figures? What figures? What figures? Sorry, no figures here, guys.
Open it back up, Shaun, for the aesthetic. Open it back up.
I'm going to.
Now we can just see your ring, and you know, no one subscribed for that.
Not many people have seen my ring.
Oh dear me, it's not precious. It is. Oh, automatic lights.
I'm not going down without a fight, though. You're not going to get them that easy. I've got some curlers for you today.
Okay, so yeah, so we know the premise. The figures that we choose will be put to a vote in the group. Last week's have already been voted on, and the scores are in. So I've got a feeling there's going to be a few arguments here. By the way, I'm ready to go. To be honest with you, so the for the best figure, I submitted the WrestleMania 35 Triple H in the pink/purple trunks. Shaun, you put the WrestleMania 17 Rikishi. Was it the Titantron one? Yeah.
Yep.
And Nick, you put in the ringside exclusive Ultimate Warrior that wasn't a WrestleMania figure, but you loopholed it, which I'm still not happy about. And of course, Mr. Loophole has won the vote for the best WrestleMania figure for that week.
Travesty.
Thank you, guys.
So 3 points to Nick. I came second in that one, so the Triple H was second, and the third was the Rikishi. Now, Shaun, I know you've got a lot to say on this, so I'm just going to drop the grenade and let you go. Here you go. Oh, you're right below me as well. I could literally just drop a grenade. There you go.
I've got more to say about the worst one, but yeah, it's fair enough. I tried to play it a little bit differently and go for a bit of nostalgia and hope that obviously fellow collectors would maybe think, actually, that was a cool figure. But, loophole, the votes are what counts, aren't they, I suppose.
Hold on a minute. Hold the phone.
A very diplomatic answer.
No, wait a minute. You're being far too nice here, Shaun. You were absolutely fuming because you were just so passionate about that Rikishi figure being way better. And
it's the next
you
one.
even got me on side. So what you've done is you've wound me up to thinking how much of a travesty this is. And now you're like, it's all right. And I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, no, I still think it's a great figure. But yeah, look, people have got to agree with you, haven't they, at the end of the day? And I've only got 5 votes, so I played it wrong. It's the next one. It's the worst one that I'm going to unleash the onslaught. Move on.
I mean, I think it's a valid point, though, because, the Jacks, if it depends how you view it, isn't it? That Warrior is arguably the best figure because of the coat, whether or not it's a WrestleMania figure. I mean, I'm not even going to go down that path, but I mean, that's ridiculous. But it probably is the best figure, but for its time, that Rikishi was fantastic. Yeah, it depends what context you're viewing it in, and that's totally up to you guys who are voting. So, I'm not going to hold any grudges. I mean, I definitely am going to hold grudges, but
yeah. Come on, guys.
Yeah, okay. So points are Nick on 3 points, me on 2 points, Shaun on 1 point, and for the worst figures, the votes are in, and shock horror, Nick takes the 3 points again. so Nick with 3 points. 3 points for the Edge WrestleMania 37, is it? Then Shaun got 2 points for his absolutely atrocious Triple H WrestleMania 2000 SmackDown 2. And then I got so apparently my Edge is the best out of those 3.
This is my point, right? This is where I'm going to unload. If I was to say to anybody who's voted for that Edge 37 Nicks in there, I'm going to give you one of these figures. Do you want this WrestleMania 37 Edge? Do you want this WrestleMania 2000 Triple H travesty of a figure? Or do you want this ugly looking WrestleMania 2000 Edge? Which do you think they'd want to take home with them? You'd pick the Elite, you'd pick the Mattel one all day long, because the only thing wrong with it really is the head. But people have thought that, oh no, I'd rather have that Triple H, I'd rather have that Edge. Come on, guys, use your brains with this one. There's no way. Nick, I know you do a lot of 3D printing, so I'm going to word this cleverly, but you must give out a lot of heads to get votes.
Why should people doing a giveaway?
Yeah, I think it's horses for courses again. I think maybe it's when I saw it, I was kind of like, wait, maybe it's because people are still annoyed about that Edge. There'll be a lot of people who have actually got that Edge in their collection and are like, this is awful. Right. And had to pay for it. Whereas, the other ones are like 20 years old. So it's kind of like, maybe that's it. But there's no doubt in it. I mean, even I'll admit your Triple H is worse than my Edge. It literally, the table is upside down for this one.
Yeah.
But the points are the points. Nick is on 6 points. I'm on 3 points. Shaun is on 3 points. Whew. So this week, what have you got for me then? Who's going to go first? Let's go for should we go for the best or the worst first? What do you reckon?
Let's go for the worst. I'll go first. So for the worst this week, I've actually gone for a 2-pack. I didn't know if that was in the rules or not, but as we're just breaking them as we go, I thought I'd just go for a 2-pack. It is definitely a WrestleMania branded product, so I've definitely ticked that box. And it's of Randy Orton and Ric Flair. Now, this is where the fun starts. Look at these abominations. So first of all, you've got two different style figures. You've got the RA style and the old Titantron Live style in a 2-pack. So, I mean, straight away, red flags are up. Secondly, Randy Orton, I mean, that picture is not particularly flattering of him anyway, but he's got no elbow pads, no knee pads. He's got an incredibly long neck, a tiny little head, an expression that really doesn't look like Randy Orton. I mean, it's horrific.
He's going swimming with Triple H.
It's yeah, exactly, and it's like it even says on it, authentic costume from WrestleMania 20. The blue that he wore was absolutely nothing like this figure. I mean, it's and that's just Randy Orton. Look at the flare. I mean, his hair is literally bright white. His eyebrows look like they're very drawn on with Tipex. There's the torso. When did Ric Flair ever have a torso like that? He's got some sort of, are they trunks? Are they short? Are the short trunks? What are they? They're like the too long. He's got, it's just horrific. Look at it. And so they've managed to get two completely different style figures so wrong into the same pack. I'm really passionate about this one. This, but I was last week. This is horrific, right? Look at them.
Yeah, it's a shocker. When you sent me this over, it took me a few seconds to realize that was actually Ric Flair. When I saw the RF on his trunks, I was like, "Oh, it's meant to be Ric Flair." Obviously, it says it on the box, but it did take me a while. I have to admit, yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
No, the chair's good. There is a chair in there.
Well, so actually, I would argue the point that chair is also awful as well. I mean, when did we ever have? It always annoyed me as a kid, actually, with accessories when there were different colors. It kind of annoys me as well with Mattel stuff as well. What's with the black tables? We don't get. Yeah. There's never any black tables. Not that I can remember. Yeah, that kind of pees me off. I remember as a kid when it was like brightly colored chairs, I was like, this isn't realistic. But yeah, okay, fair one. I'll let you have that. So. Who's next? Am I going next or are you going next, Nick?
After you, sir.
All right, okay. So I've stuck with the WrestleMania 2000 theme. Now,
because it worked so well.
To be honest, yeah, I mean, it didn't work at all, but this has to go down as one of the worst lines ever, the WrestleMania 2000 line. Now, no, don't get me wrong. This isn't the WrestleMania 2000 SmackDown Series 2. This is the WrestleMania 2000 Double Slam Series 2. TTLs again. I've gone for a 2-pack as well, Shaun. So if it is a rule break, and we both broke the rules, but I want to focus on maybe just one of the figures in the 2-pack. It's The Rock and Billy Gunn. So The Rock's in there. It is what it is. It's not great. I mean, he's far too bulky, but it's not horrific. It's not absolutely terrible. He's comes with a waistcoat. But look at the state of that Billy Gunn. It is horrific. That has to be. I've had this. I should have looked, but I'm pretty sure I've got this loose next door. It is shocking. I mean, it looks nothing like Billy Gunn. It's. I mean, I've got no words. I can't even describe it. The only thing I would say is, has anyone ever seen the movie The Mask? You know when the bad guy has the mask and puts it on. That's that.
Yeah. Go one step further than that, and it's another Jim Carrey. So at the end of Batman and Robin, at the end when he turns into like the Riddler gets all melted and his face is all.
Hold on. Whoa. Stop.
It's Batman Forever.
I don't know if you can see behind me. I'm a big Batman fan.
Yeah, it's Batman Forever, isn't it?
It's Batman Forever. Do not get Batman wrong on this show ever again.
But it's a good reference because that looks. I mean, that is horrific.
No, but you're right.
Yeah. It's like a big melted character chewer face. It's awful.
Yeah, awful. I mean, it's a shocker. It's a shocker. I mean, there's no articulation in the arms. He's got no I mean, come on. No elbow pads again. No knee pads. Like, jeez Louise.
Billy Gunn's not a bad-looking guy either. Is he? I mean, they've even got a photo there next to him. I love it when they have that. They put a reference photo on so you can see exactly what it's supposed to look like, and then they put their actual product next to it so you can clearly see it.
Yeah, it's like when you go to McDonald's, isn't it? And you order a burger, and then you open it, it's like, what is it? Have you just thrown this in here? But on the picture, it's like, Anyway,
Whoever,
So there you go. There's my choice, Nick.
My choice will be, although I don't have it in hand yet, I've seen the pictures of some people in the groups and people have it in hand. It's the WrestleMania of this year, Bret Hart re-release of the classic Vince versus Bret match. The face scan on this is absolutely horrendous. I know it goes back to when we were talking about Bret's earlier, but this is dreadful. It's a re-release of a figure that's already come out. He's wearing Cena trousers. And it's just the face scan looks like Wurzel Gummidge. Like, it's not great. I'm not a big fan of it.
Can I defend this? Are we allowed to have defense on this?
Yeah, go for it.
I think this fit. I get your point on the face, and the hair's probably a little too brown, but the rest of the figure's great. It's the first time they've had Bret out in accurate elbow pads, so they've got the white trim on them. The shorts that you said are Cena shorts, he wore them. Those are really accurate. He's got his little white socks. He's got his black and pink wrist tape. I think that's a pretty good figure. Surely it's not the worst.
You're clambering for points here.
Surely it's not the worst, everybody. Vote Shaun.
So there's a lot at stake here, and as the weeks go on, it's going to get more and more like really, really hostile. But I just want to put across the point of, just because it's new and it's fresh in your mind doesn't mean that it's the right answer. So just because Nick's going for all the relevant ones that you guys are like hot on now.
It's got a lovely shirt. It's very accurate. It's in scale. It's a beautiful head scan in real life, if anything. This is one of the best figures of 2022.
I mean, his face is shocking to be fair. But
don't look at the face. This here now is the best figure.
But I agree with what you're saying, Shaun. Anyway, it's not up to us. It's up to the group. It doesn't matter what we say. You guys can decide. Again, none of us will be offended. Much. But please just do the right thing. Do the right thing, for God's sake. Right. So, best figures then. What are we going for? Who's going first? Who went first? Shaun went first then. Shall I go first?
You go first.
Okay. So, I've gone for, now this is an awesome WrestleMania figure. It's super rare. Like super rare. One thing that I is my kind of claim to fame is that I think that I've had every Mattel figure in stock apart from 3, and I've only had, and a lot of them I've had more than once, not including like ones that weren't properly released, things like that. For example, like Harley Race, I've had like 4 or 5 of those. This I've only had once. It is the Rey Mysterio WrestleMania 26. It's based on the Avatar attire. I don't know if you guys remember it. Got a picture of it now. Super hard to get. Super cool attire. It's worth a lot of money. It's really cool. Pops on the shelf. Awesome to have loose. Looks great in the box. Yeah, I mean, I just think that that's a fantastic figure. I'd go as far as to say it's the best Rey Mysterio figure, as well as it being the rarest and the hardest to get hold of.
Was it a Toys R Us exclusive?
I think it was actually.
Yeah.
The picture I've got here, it doesn't have the Toys R Us exclusive on it, but I think that those sets weren't there? Because there was the 27s as well with The Rock, and there was an Undertaker in there and stuff. But that's my pick.
Yeah. Tough one to beat that. It's like you said, it ticks every box. It's a good figure. Very solid.
Okay, who's going next then? We'll go for Nick.
Here we go.
So my choice this time around, and it technically does count as WrestleMania figure this time, is the Paul Ellering Build-A-Figure piece from the WrestleMania 37 set. It is part of the set because it's part of the figures, so it is a WrestleMania figure.
This guy is...
What? Can you get my parking tickets off? Come on, show me a picture of Ellering as a figure in a WrestleMania box, please. And
hold on, then it comes in 4 separate boxes that are labeled as WrestleMania figures, and it comes.
Give over.
You can only get it in a WrestleMania set, I guess. But I mean, what am I defending this for? No.
It's
again,
also
you
not
guys
a
will
great
the group will decide. You know, it doesn't matter. I trust them this time. I don't know why, because they let us down the first time, but I trust you guys. But it is a great figure. It is that can't be argued.
And to add, it did actually get a running change. So they changed the jacket on the figure. Therefore, if you're clever, you could actually get it twice, and you would have the Paul lettering that goes with LOD and also the AOP version, which I did that because you got both heads as well, right?
Yeah, it's a good figure. It's not a WrestleMania figure. Paul Ellering has never even been at WrestleMania, so how can you put a guy in as the best of WrestleMania? He's never been there. But it's a good fit. It is a good figure. It was a guy that we'd never thought we'd have got, so it's a good choice.
By buying WrestleMania figures, it counts.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to create a fake account here. That's what I'm going to do. Can I go now? Is it my turn?
Your turn, Shaun.
My turn. Right. So I've gone for the Elite Collection Flashback. It is a WrestleMania. It says so on the top of Shawn Michaels in his red. I think was it WrestleMania 15 in his match against them. So this has everything. It's a really accurate attire. It's great. It's the only time he's ever been released in his sort of red DX. It comes with the entrance, so the silver chaps and vest as well. I think the head scan has actually only been used on this figure. So the hair is braided into ponytails in the back, and I think it's only ever been on this figure as well. And it's actually one of the better Michaels heads, because again, he's another one that I always feel they get wrong. But so I've gone for this one. And I implore you to get this one right, guys, in the group vote. And like, if I was to say to you, take home a Paul Ellering, a Rey Mysterio, or this Michaels, it's this Michaels, isn't it?
Let's just talk about your figure for a second before we talk about why you're wrong. But it's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania 15. Did you say?
14. I think so.
WrestleMania 15, 14, 15.
14.
It's in WrestleMania 30 packaging.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Bullshit. It's a great figure. I can't argue with that. I think the entrance gear for me, I always thought was a bit off about it was it looks very, what's the word?
It's because it's painted. That's why.
Very matte and not metallic enough.
Yeah.
But it is a great figure. Can't really argue with that. It is fantastic. I think we've got 3 good ones this week. It's going to be a tough one. My Rey Mysterio's the best though. So.
After mine.
Oh man, I'm desperate. I already know what figures I'm taking off you, by the way. So, okay, so there we go. Then we'll put it to a vote in the group. It is getting a bit hostile, isn't it? I'm feeling a bit. Yeah. So we'll put it in the group. You guys can vote. Comment what you think as well about all of those figures. Let us know. Hopefully there's a change in the leaderboard by the time we're next here. Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us on episode 2 of the Collector Cast. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you have, make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We're going to be doing a giveaway as soon as we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. Join the Facebook group. Go follow Nick on Instagram, Clarky Collector. Go and follow Shaun at allfigured_out.
All.figured_out. Dead catchy.
Yeah, SmackDown, WrestleMania 2000, SmackDown, SummerSlam Series 2. All your figure needs, superpowertoys.co.uk, WrestleHQ. Follow us on Facebook and all that jazz. See ya.